Today we're going to do a quick overview. It is very similar to your mental addition. We are going to do strategies for mental subtraction. They are very similar to what you've already done with addition. We're just going to go the other way. You can start by subtracting the ones. You could also subtract 10 and then add the extra ones. You could subtract the tens, subtract 100, then add the extra ones, or 5 subtract the hundreds, and now your brain's going to explode. No, don't let that happen. Let's start at the top. We'll give an example here of a wonderful math problem where you're going to subtract the ones. What if you had a problem that looked like one of these? You're going to notice, the first thing you're going to notice is if you look in the ones place, you're only doing ones. If you look in the ones place and you can, if 8 minus 5 is something that you can do easily, you can just write your answer because 8 minus 5 is what? It is 3. And so your hundreds and your tens stay the same. So your answer should be 743. Please take out your piece of paper now. And when I am coming up with the answer, I'm going to see if you can beat me to writing it on your paper. If we look at this next problem, and we're only going to use our strategy of subtracting the ones, which is number 1 there. We're going to look at our ones place. 7 minus 3. Can we do that? Yes. So we're going to go 430, and 7 minus 3 is 4. Pretty simple. I want you to do this one on your paper. 628 minus 4. Look at your ones place. Can you do it? Can you do 8 minus 4 without regrouping? All right, what answer did you get? All right, check yours with mine. 624. Excellent. Well, sometimes it's not so easy. Sometimes you get to a place where you look at the ones place and it's not going to work out so easily. Like these. You look in your ones place here and the 4 minus 7, can I do that? I cannot do that. So it's not as easy to do in my head without calculating. So we use strategy number 2, which is subtract 10 and then add the extra ones back in. It's a whole lot easier to just pull out 10 than it is to pull out something else. So we can make this 7 a 10. If we were to use our number bonds from back in first grade, we would say to get 10, it's a 7 and a 3. Make the 10 of the bond. So I want to take out 10 because it's easier, but I'm going to end up taking out 3 too many. So I'm going to have to put them back in later. So let's just take out the 10. 84 minus 10 is 74, but then we've taken out too much, so we have to add 3 back in. So 74 plus 3 would be, write it down, should be 77. Yeah. Well, now let's look at this one here. 72 minus 9. Can I do 2 minus 9 without regrouping? No. But 9, if I want to get it as close to 10 as I can, 10 is a 9 and a 1 bonded together. And so I do 72 minus 10, which is 62, but I took out too many. So 62, I add the 1 back in, and it becomes 73. I did that wrong, didn't I? Can you find my mistake? 72 minus 9 is 73. Does that make sense? What did I do wrong? Can you tell me? I did not take my 10s out. 72 minus 10 is 62, plus my 1 is 63. Nice catch. Just checking to see if you're awake. 62 minus 6. We look first at our ones place. Can you do 2 minus 6? No. So you'll have to use a different strategy. Make that a 10. 10 is 6 plus a 4. So we're going to take out the 10 and we're going to need to put the 4 back in our number bond. So 62 minus 10 is 52. Put your 4 back in. 52 plus 4 is what? Should be 56. Yeah. All right. What if we have a 3-digit number? Does that change anything or can we use the same strategy? Yep, we can use the same strategy. Subtract 10 and then add the extra ones. Let's do that when we have a 3-digit number. First, we check to see if we can just do it simply. 3 minus 9. Can we do that? Nope. So we're going to go to the nearest 10. To make 10, we end up with a 9 and a 1. So we take our 10 out. 543 minus 10 would be 533. Plus 1 would be what? 534. I hope that's what you wrote down. All right, so what if we end up with this one? Did I do that one wrong again? Oh my goodness, you are such a good catch. Thank you for checking with me so politely, even on video. Stop, Mrs. Lecce. Where did my mistake go? Is it 534? 543 minus 9 is 534. I did not make a mistake. Let's check here. 745 minus 8. You do it and see what you get. I'm going to get close to the 10, which is an 8 and a 2. So take out 10 and then add your ones back in. What did you get? 745 minus 10 is 735. Plus my extra 2 is 737. Have any of you ever flown on a 737 airplane? They do make those. Ooh, pretty fun. Airplane. There's our little airplane. All right, let's look over here. 782 minus 6. We look at our ones place, a 2 and a 2 minus 6. Can't do that, so we're going to get to our closest 10. It's easier. 782 minus 10 is 772, but you have to add your 4 back in. 772 plus 4 is 776, right? 776. Okay, now what happens then if we come to a place where we're dealing with subtracting tens? We're going to fold this over. Our next strategy that we can use, I'll put this here, is to, wow, look at that, it stands up by itself. I've made a little table tag, that's kind of fun. Look at number 3 here. You can subtract the tens. That can be super simple. Look at here, you're going to do this really fast. If we notice that we have no ones, and we're only dealing with our tens place, 8 minus 2, you can just subtract your 8 tens, or you can think of 80 minus 20. It doesn't affect your hundreds, but you're looking at your tens place, all right? So 480 minus 20 would be what? Write it down, please. 408.76 would be 460. Now, you look at this one and notice that you're taking out a clean set of 10, 4 tens. So take out 4 tens there. We have 9 tens over here minus 4 tens over here. Write down what you get. You should have gotten 6, 9 minus 4 is 5, and 2 minus 0 is 2. Don't forget that dangling 1. We are taking 2 minus 0, so we need to keep that 1, 652. Okay, our last simple pulling out of tens is here. We have 7 tens over here and just 5 tens on the other side. We're taking out a clean 50. See if you can do that by just subtracting the tens. Okay, we still have our 200. Our 7 tens minus 5 tens is 2. And our 6 ones minus 0 is 6. You should have gotten 226. Can you see my 6 there? I can maybe write that a little clearer. But there comes a time, ladies and gentlemen, when you cannot easily subtract that. If I look at here, this problem here, 436 minus 80, I have 3 tens and minus 8 tens. I cannot do that without regrouping. So you have to use a different strategy. The strategy here is subtract 100, because that's a whole lot easier, and then add the extra, I think you add the extra tens back in. I think that's wrong. I think you add the extra tens back in. All right, so let's try that. 36 minus 80 is too tricky. I'm gonna have to regroup, so I'm gonna pull out 100. To get to 80, I have a group bond of 100. I take out 80. I have 20 left. So I'm going to get to 100. I'm going to have to put these 20s back in. So I'm going to pull out 100. 936 minus 100 is going to get us into 836. 36 plus 20 is what? 30 plus 20 is 50. And we keep our 6. Whew. All right, what if we have this one here? 425 minus 60. Well, I have 25 minus 60. I have a 2 in the tens place minus a 6 in the tens place. I can't do that without regrouping, so I'm going to go the easy way in my head. I'm going to make this 60 100. Well, if I make it 100, I end up with a 60 and a 40 bonded together. So let's take out the 100 because that's easy. 425 minus 100 is 300. And then I have 25. I have to add this 40 back in. 2 tens plus 4 tens is 6 tens. And then I still have my 5 ones hanging on. 365. All right, what if we go over here and we have an 80? We're subtracting 718 minus 80. I have 1 10 minus 8 tens. I need to regroup, so I'm going to bump this up to 100 to make it easy. 100 becomes an 80 and a 20 bonded together. So I'm going to pull out more than I need. 718 minus 100 is 618. I hold on to that in my head. And then I pulled out 20 too many, so I'm going to add that back in. 2 tens plus 1 10 is 3 tens, and then I keep my ones place. Students, I'm going to encourage you a lot to, when you're doing this on paper, don't write the problem up and down like this. Don't do that. When we're practicing our mental math, use your number bonds. Draw a number bond, and then you'll be able to do it that way. We're practicing how to use a strategy that we can use without paper eventually, all right? Our last one is so simple. What if we only have hundreds? Well, if we only have hundreds, we can just, say it with me. Yes, we can. So if we're just going to look at the hundreds because we don't have any tens or ones, we're going to look at 700 minus 500. So 7 minus 5 is 2. And then our tens and our ones stay the same because 4 tens minus 0 tens, 9 tens minus 0 tens. Ends up 749 minus 500 is 249. Again, we're going to subtract the hundreds here. Write your answer, please. You should have gotten 9 minus 3 hundredths is 6 hundredths. And then you still have your tens and your ones of 73. Please do this one. I bet you can do that one super fast. 500 minus 400. My goodness. You're right. It's 100. We'll put little dots on it with a happy face. Yay. Nicely done. I'm going to have you do a little bit of work for the first time ever in second grade out of your book, your textbook. If you would please look when you get a moment on page 26. You're going to see a bunch of problems just like these. It's going to tell you that you can use number bonds to help you, which you can write over here if you need to. But I want you to get a piece of paper, and I want you at the very top of that piece of paper to write page 26. And then I'm going to have you number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, all the way to 16. And as you look in the textbook at problem number 1 on page 26, it will be 32 minus 7. You're going to do that problem in your head. You can make some number bonds if you need to over here on this side of your paper. And then right beside number 1, I'm just going to have you write the answer, whatever the answer is. Finding it in your head. If you need to write number bonds, you can only write number bonds over here. You may not write the problem and solve it old-fashioned way. Okay, you can only use number bonds. But you can do that, and you're going to write the answers to each of the 16 mental math problems. Take a picture of it and turn it in, and I'm looking forward to seeing your answers. Hooray!